Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with another Bible study. Uh, it's been an interesting week. I've had direct leading on this teaching today. I had direct leading on the teaching on Wednesday, and this one as well. I had a dream. I had this dream in October of 2020. It's not recorded anywhere because I wasn't doing this yet, and but I talked to my wife about it. And it was brought back to me quite plainly over the course of this week while I was wondering what to do. I thought again that we were going to be in Job, but I was wrong. We're going to go into the book of Revelation. We're going to talk about a couple of things because God put them on me, and so that's what I do. I talk about the things that God tells me to talk about. There's a lot of confusion about what's going to happen here, like where we're at in history, what is going to happen. A lot of people think that we're going to get to just fly away, that there's going to be the sound of a trumpet and the Lord is going to just snatch up everybody who has said that I believe in Jesus. That is not what's about to happen by a long shot. We're going to start in Revelation 6. The first 3 chapters of Revelation deal specifically with the different churches. There are 7 churches that are listed and 7 different spirits that inhabit those churches. We're not going to get into that lesson today. That lesson will be coming, but that's not today's lesson. And then 5 and 6 are talking about, or 4 and 5 are talking about Jesus being worthy to open the seals. We're not discussing that today. What we are going to talk about is the seals. We are going to talk about some more, but we're going to start in the seals. The first seal is the white horse, and the first 4 seals all come relatively quickly. The white horse is the rider holds a bow, and he rides out to overcome and conquer. I don't know that we have seen this yet. It's going to be a unifying force, but it is possible that we are living through the first 4 seals at the moment. I looked and saw a white horse, and his rider held a bow, and he was given a crown and rode out to overcome and conquer. This is the placement of the one world government. People are looking for a man here. This is not where the man is at yet. He has not yet arisen. The second seal is war, and another horse went forth, and it was bright red, and his rider was granted permission to take away peace from the earth and make men slay one another. If we're not there, we're really close, especially considering what's going on right now in Afghanistan and that area of the world, which is prophetically significant, much more significant than here. But worldwide, people are being persecuted. Not necessarily for their faith right now, although that is coming, but they are being persecuted and made to stay in their homes and not being given freedom across the entirety of the globe. That has never happened before. Not across everywhere. Never. The third seal is famine. This one is imminent. We are at the very edge of this. And if you do not recognize that, you need to pray about this, because where we are at with this hyperinflation and this forced stagnation of the economy worldwide is a problem. This is going to cause famine. This is what's going to allow them to usher in the beast system. Because without this, well, it's hard without famine to control people, and that's what's coming. And then the 4th seal is death, and I looked and saw a pale horse. It's a green horse, but in the original it says pale. It is not a pale like a light yellow or a white. It is a pale, sickly green. Particularly, it's sickness, it's pestilence. And Hades, or hell, was followed closely behind, and they were given authority over a fourth of the earth to kill by sword, by famine, by plague, and by beasts. We don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows exactly what these seals stand for. A lot of people are expecting that they're going to get pulled out before these seals start, and that is foolishness. And then the Lamb opened the fifth seal, and I saw the altar of the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and the testimony that they had upheld. And they cried out in a loud voice, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you avenge our blood and judge those who dwell upon the earth?" And then each of them was given a white robe and told to rest a while longer, until the full number of their fellow servants, their brothers, were killed, just as they had been killed. There have absolutely been martyrs for the faith as long as there has been the faith. You can go back to the book of Daniel. You can go back before the book of Daniel. But Daniel does a really good job of showing some of the persecution that believers have faced. We covered Esther and some of the persecution that those believers had faced. And that is real. People will die for their beliefs. What is coming is a great death. It is a great harvest. And that is the seal of the martyrs. When that happens, it will be recognizable. It will be unavoidable. The sixth seal is terror. And then I saw the Lamb open the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black, and the whole moon turned red, and the stars fell from the sky to the earth like unripe figs dropping from a tree shaken by a great wind. Now, we'll get back into that. The sky receded like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved. Then the kings of the earth, the commanders, the rich, the mighty, and every slave and free man hid in the caves. So everybody takes off running. Everybody is scared. It is a global event that scares the piss out of everybody. And this comes after the martyrs are killed. The ones that don't flee. We'll get to that too. This, I believe, is shown through science. We have a cycle that this planet goes through. It is trackable. It has been shown to have happened. And there are some people over at Suspicious Observers and the Electric Universe who have done a really good job of showing what's about to happen with this. I believe that it is divinely inspired, that God uses science to do all of the things that he does. It is an expression of divine will, but the physics of it is his law. Like, that's how he makes it work. If you want to see more about what is about to happen, check out the disaster cycle at Suspicious Observers. The long and the short of it is that there will be a solar flare. Now, the cause of the solar flare is up to debate, but what seems to happen is that the solar flare happens and it affects the planet greatly. Every 6,000 years or so, the planet undergoes a rather massive transformation. They've recently discovered that there were reptiles in Antarctica. The only way that that is possible is with a dramatic climate shift from where we are now. There are great reasons to believe that where I am now was once covered under ice. And what appears to happen is that the magnetic poles move. The crust is flexible. It is firmly affixed now. Well, not firmly. Firmly was the wrong word. But it's held in place by magnetics. Like, magnetics is how the universe works. And if you don't believe that electromagnetics is how the universe works, then you need a lot more research. Whenever the sun flares, it's going to change the polarity, and the Earth will shift 90 degrees. Antarctica will be about at the equator. It's going to rotate. It's happened before. It is trackable. there is science to prove it. Part of that happening is when the flare happens and the Earth moves is because the magnetic field that holds our atmosphere and makes us have the blue sky is going to dissipate. It's going to be very dangerous. It's going to kill a lot of people. It is unbridled, unchecked radiation from the sun coming through. But the sky will roll back and it will no longer be blue. And because the atmosphere is gone, we're not going to be able to see the stars. They're going to be gone. Now, most of this is supposition. It is based upon fact. It is based upon provable, trackable data. It is. Check out Suspicious Observers. That's the third time I'm telling y'all this. Go check them out. They are on point. And when this happens, people are going to run, they're going to hide, and they're going to try and get away. But wherever they go, they're not going to be able to get away. And that is 6 of the 7 seals. It is the 6th book, and that is basically the 6th book. And then the 7th book is the 144,000 are sealed. And this is specifically dealing with the Jewish peoples. Now, I don't know what's going on with this. Well, I do, but we're not going to get into what's going on with this at the moment. But it is not what the Jehovah's Witnesses believe. Sorry, I'm still on my coffee this morning. And so we're going to get here to the praise from the great multitude, because this is where people are getting twisted. And all the angels stood around the throne, and they fell face down before the throne, and they were worshiping, and the elder addressed me. And he saw a multitude. Well, before that, he saw the multitude, and it was too large to count, from every nation, tribe, and people, and tongue. It is 4 different things. 4. Nation is, like, that's the word. Nation is for melon. Tribe are the individuals within those nations. There are different ethnicities. You have the Irish, you have the British, you have the Welsh, you have all the different nationalities. That are the tribes. The people are the particular countries, and the tongue are, of course, languages. And they were standing before the throne, and they're wearing white robes and holding palm branches, and they cry out. Well, then one of the elders addresses John the Revelator and says, "These in the white robes, who are they and where they've come from?" He's like, "You know, I don't know." And he's like, "These are the ones that came out of the Great Tribulation. These are not the ones that were pulled out of the Great Tribulation. They have washed their robes and made them white, and they have died. These are the martyrs before the throne. They are crying out for vengeance." And then the 7th seal happens. And when the Lamb opens the 7th seal, there's silence in the heavens for half an hour. This is directly following the 6th seal. And the 6th seal is the great turning in the sky rolling back we just talked about. Well, there is silence in the heavens for half an hour. The wind, like everything becomes silent. And then he sees the 7 angels who stand before God, and they are given the 7 trumpets at this time. Then another angel has a censer, and he stands at the altar. A censer burns incense. Is what you see the Catholics walking around with the thing. And he's given incense to offer along with the prayer of the saints on the altar before the throne. And the smoke, together with the prayer of the saints, rose up before God. And the angels took the censer and filled it with fire and hurled it to the earth. And there were peals of thunder and rumblings and flashes of lightning and an earthquake. I believe that the catalyst for this flare and this whole thing is an extraplanetary excursion into our solar system. There is trackable data. Gil Broussard has done a great job of tracking this data. He has taken multiple sources from around the world, correlated it, and put it in a presentation that is very good. He can do it better than I can. That is not my area. But that's where I believe that the solar flare the Suspicious Observers is talking about, I believe that's the catalyst for that. This is talking about the accompanying parts. I think that this planet that is coming is the sign of the Son of Man. That is the sign that we are looking for. It is the sign of Jonah. It is what he saw in the sky, and it told him to go to Nineveh. I could be wrong. I always entertain the possibility that I do not believe I am, but I think it's possible. Next is the first 4 trumpets. And the 7 angels with 7 trumpets prepared to sound them. We're not really going to get into the trumpets right now. We're going to come back to the trumpets because we're dealing specifically with the seals. The seals happen first. The seals happen while we are here and before we are martyred. At the end of the trumpets are the bowls. We're not going to get into the bowls. Do I need to go into 10? No. Okay. 10 and 11 are dealing with some of the other signs that are going to happen while the seals are going on. The 2 witnesses come to earth. They are killed and raised. And then the 7th trumpet at the end. The 7th trumpet is after most of the horror has happened to the believers. Revelation 12 is, there are arguments to be made that we have had a Revelation 12 sign. There are arguments to be made that we have not. Scotty Clark did a pretty good job of dealing with the Revelation 12 sign and what it could be. That is entirely possible. It is possible that it is not. We have not yet seen the war in heaven that will follow the Revelation 12 sign. It has been 3 years, but we might come back to that. This is where we're going to pick up. The woman persecuted. This is after the war in heaven, and we see these signs. These signs, I believe, will be the abomination of desolation. When we see in the sky the symbol of the Son of Man coming, and when we see the sky roll back and all of these things happen, it is the sign to run, because it's about to get really real. And we are to run where God has prepared a place for us. That is what he says here. And the woman fled into the wilderness where God had prepared a place for her to be nourished for 1,260 days, 3.5 years. I believe we are on the edge of this. We are imminent with this. We are about to see the war break out in heaven. We are about to see these things going through the sky. The dragon, I believe, is the sign. It is the planet. It is the extra solar excursion into our solar system. But the woman will be persecuted, and the dragon, it appears to be a duality. Like there is the dragon sign in the sky, and there is the dragon on the ground. The dragon on the ground is the Antichrist beast system. But he knows that his time is short, and he persecutes. The woman is given 2 wings of an eagle to fly, to go away, and to hide for a time, times, and half a time. That is generally accepted to mean 3.5 years. But again, we are told that we will run, that we will go away. And this is where I have been specifically directed to talk. The beast from the sea. Now, the book of Revelation is a bit discordant. It jumps around. It is not chronological strictly. It goes, and then it goes over here, and it shows correlations at the same time. This is happening, this is happening, and this is happening. But it doesn't do it in chronological order directly. It'll go 1 through 5, and then it'll jump over, and then it'll jump over. Well, we're at 13 where there is a jumping over. This is with the coming up of the beast system. The beast system is how the world is controlled. It is how everything is managed for the persecution of the saints. This is where it happens. 1 second. I love my coffee. And then I saw a beast with 10 horns and 7 heads rising out of the sea. There were 10 royal crowns on its horns and blasphemous names on its head. The beast I saw was like a leopard with the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. There's a lot of speculation about this. There is speculation that this could be the Roman Empire, and I can see those arguments. There's good arguments made there. I'm not positive about that. Simply because the Mohammedans fit better than the Roman Church. The Romans are not like the Roman Church. The way it is designed, written, and implemented has nothing to do with Christ. Be very clear about that. Every single thing that Christ said to do, the Romans did the exact opposite of. That is truth, that is fact, and a lot of these Protestant churches are doing the same thing. Here's where things get interesting. I had a dream in October of 2020. In this dream, I saw a sign in the heavens. I saw I saw the sun rise and set 3 times. And when it rose, the sun moved. So it was a progression of time. It was not 3 days. I'm not sure past that what the progression of time is, but it rose, set, rose, set, rose, set, rose, which leads me to 3.5. And it is greater than 3.5 days. It could be 3.5 months. It could be 3.5 years. It could be 3.5 decades. I don't think so, but it could be. I thought that it was going to be 3.5 months. I also saw in this dream Donald Trump. Now, this was October. It was prior to the election, and I was a rather outspoken Trump supporter. This was right around the time he started with the warp speed thing. And I got a little bit concerned. And then he got the thing, and I was a little bit more concerned. And then I had this dream. And then I saw this dream, and I heard this. One of the heads of the beast was mortally wounded. And the wound was healed, and the world marveled and followed the beast. And I was confused, because it appeared to me that Trump was doing the right things other than the thing. And I was like really confused by this, and I didn't understand. And so I didn't say anything, because if I don't understand it, I don't say anything. I talked to my wife, because I talked to my wife about things, but we didn't discuss it with anyone else. I'm putting it out here now because God has put it on me. He put it on me a couple of days ago, and I've been going through and preparing for this. Well, in the preparation for this, yesterday, I found something a little weird, and we'll get to that in a minute, but let's go through the rest of this real quick. And the beast was given a mouth to speak arrogant words, arrogant and blasphemous words, and authority to act for 42 months or 3.5 years, which is another way of saying 3.5 years. And the beast opened his mouth to speak blasphemies against God and slander his name and his tabernacle, those who dwell in heaven. And then the beast was permitted to wage war against the saints and to conquer them, and was given authority over every tribe, people, tongue, and nation. And all who dwell on the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written from the foundation of the world in the book of life. He who has an ear, let him hear. He who has an ear, let him hear. He who has an ear, let him hear. This is important. I said it 3 times because it is important. If anyone is destined for captivity, into captivity he will go. If anyone is to die by the sword he must be killed. Here is a call for the perseverance and the faith of the saints. There are a lot of people who think that they are going to get out. They think that there is going to be a rapture prior to the end, and that is simply untrue. God does say that he is going to come and gather the remnant. He does. Before the great final judgment, the great final wrath. And that is in this book. But it is not at the beginning. It is not when it starts, and it is not right when the Antichrist appears. It is not. Now this beast rising from the sea, and when something rises from the sea, it is generally accepted by most religious scholars to represent the masses of humanity. There were 10 royal crowns, which means that there are 10 leaders of this. And they have horns and blasphemous heads, blasphemous names on their heads. We are unclear on what these names are. It is not told to us. It says that it was like a leopard with feet like a bear and the mouth of a lion. That could mean a lot of things. People think that it's going to be some kind of hybrid that actually looks like a lion. I don't. I think it's going to be swift because it's like a leopard. It's going to be swift. But the feet are like a bear means it's going to be huge feet and it's going to crush things. And the mouth of a lion rips and devours. A leopard and a lion are not that much different. But a lion has more powerful mouth and he crushes and shreds a lot better. And the dragon gives this power to the beast and great authority. The head of the beast appears to be mortally wounded. Okay, we got to that. We're going to talk about the beast of the earth real quick and then the mark of the beast because this is where this is going. And then I saw another beast rising out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like the dragon. And the beast exercised all the authority of the first beast, was doing all the same things that the first beast did, which was to persecute the believers. And he exercised all the authority of the first beast and caused the earth and those who dwell on it to worship the beast whose mortal wound had been healed. And the second beast performed great signs to cause even fire from heaven to come down to earth in the presence of people. Because of the signs given to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived those who dwell on the earth, telling them to make an image of the beast that had been wounded by the sword and yet had lived. And the second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship it to be killed. If you do not comply, you will die. That is written. If you are captured, then it tells you to run. But if you are captured, you are called to die. It's telling you this. The mark of the beast. I'm going to scroll up so y'all can see this. And here's what, we're not going to get too much into anything else after this. The second beast required all people, great, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of its name. Here is a call for wisdom. Let the one who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that number is 666. It's interesting. I did a study on this because on Bible Hub, if you click here, I'm going to open this in a new tab and we'll go over. If you click, let's see, you can see it, on 666, it takes you here. And it's just the one word. And I was like, wait a second. That doesn't say 666. That says 600. Y'all can't really tell. I'm not going to move it. It's a cardinal number from hex and hexagon, and the definition is 600. It says it here, 600 is the word. And that confused me. I was like, wait, how does 600 translate into 666? So I spent a good deal of time yesterday trying to figure out what happened. And what happened is that they only put the one word on here, but there are actually 3 words. There's the word for 600, the word for 60, and the word for 6. Now, the King James Bible will tell you that it's 603 score and 6. That is not what it says. It says 660 and 6. Specifically, 660 and 6. It's not 666, not 603 score and 6, but 660 and 6. Now, I bring that up because in my research yesterday on 666, I stumbled across this. And you're like, oh God, here we go. Obama's the Antichrist. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that something very interesting happened. On President Obama's birthday, he threw a party, and it lasted for a while. And there was supposed to be a lot of people there, but it was scaled back to 600 for his 60th birthday. And I'm going to have to look. I think it was 3 days long, but it might have been 6. I'm not sure. I didn't look into that. But I did look at this. This is the fundraiser that was started. This is for the Presidential Library in Chicago. These are the amounts that they actually put. Now, to me, this is a little in your face. As I was laying last night and I was doing my prayer prior to doing this video, it came to me. I had been looking at it like I thought that when I had my vision, and I say vision, but it was I was still awake, so it was a vision. I was not sleeping. And I saw it. I have aphantasia. I cannot physically see anything on my own. Close my eyes and picture the slightest thing. I can't picture a blade of grass. I can't picture anything on my own. But I saw this. And I thought back in October that it meant that Trump was going to lose and that there would be a short period of time and that he would come back. And I was like, okay, but I'm not going to go crazy. Like, the Q thing was happening and Q was a psyop. I am not in any way endorsing Q. But the Q thing was happening. And what I did when I had this vision was I shut up. I quit. Like, I still put out there that I was going to vote for Trump. But I was not as fervent as I had been before. It stopped me from being as outspoken and as fervent because I was confused. I was like, I don't want to put out wrong information. I didn't want to put out this information. But God does what he wants. So I saw this and I was confused by it. And I thought when he lost, I was like, okay, well, what this means is that 3.5 months he's going to come back. But I didn't say anything because I was not told to say anything. And that didn't happen. We were well past 3.5 months. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand the vision. I was still believing, but it didn't make sense. And then last night it came to me that Trump was the head wound. And that was a revelation. Because for 3.5 years, he stood in the gap. Now, that is not saying that Trump is the savior, and Trump is not by any means saying that. What it is saying is that Trump stopped this system for 3.5 years. That happened. When this fella was in office, this system was rolling out. And then Trump came in and he stopped this system for a little while. But now it's back, and it's back in full effect, and it is persecuting people. And soon to come is this mark. It is about to happen, people. Get ready for that. This is not the mark. It is not. This tracking system that is going to track this and your yearly, twice yearly boosters will be. It will. You will have a clear choice here. And without this mark, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. That is coming. That will happen. It is already happening. Right now, in Australia, you can't do anything. Like literally anything. You're stuck in your house. You have to have permission from the government to go buy groceries. Right now, in California, I think it was Los Angeles or maybe it was San Francisco, one of the two, just fully instituted you have to be immunized to go inside. You have to show your papers. Right now, in New Orleans, American Trail, she said the same thing. She said you have to be immunized or show a negative COVID test, but that's going to go away too. This is rolling out. This is happening. This is the persecution beginning. The part where they're going to kill us. This is coming. This number, 666, I don't think that this was, like, this is not the mark of the beast, but it is preparing the way and it is showing what's coming. They have to show us what's coming. They have to. It's written. This is serious. The 144,000 will die and are redeemed. Babylon will fall. The harvest of the earth will happen. All of these things are coming. This beast system, it is coming. It is coming quickly. When it comes, we are to flee. That's what's supposed to happen. We're not to take this mark. It will be a very clear choice. It will. You will either choose to be tracked or you will not. They're going to tell us that these cards are not secure enough. They are going to tell us that phones are not secure enough. Now, it might be a microchip that gets inserted into your hand or your forehead. It might be the microdot tattoo with the luciferase. That is a thing. You should definitely look that up. It is a tattoo that will glow red if and only if you have the antibodies in you. It is named luciferase. There's a reason for that. That's where they're going to track. That's what's going to happen. Is this is going to be your code. This is going to be the number of the man. And when this word man, the number of a man right here, this word does not mean male. It means people. It is the number of people, and specifically mankind. This is the number you will be given. The number 666, it may be what the Christians have been claiming with the barcodes, and those 3 lines mean 666. It might be that. It might be the Mohammedans' declaration of faith looks like the Greek number 660 and 6. It looks like that. Not the Roman numerals, but the way it was written out. That's I think it was in Greek. It might have been in Hebrew or Aramaic. I'm not sure. But it does. There is a very solid argument to be made that the cross, the squiggle, and the other squiggle with the dot looks like it. It does. It's inverted and upside down, but that's okay. They do everything inverted and upside down. My whole point of this was to relay the information, because there are a lot of people expecting to not be here when this happens, and that is not what is about to happen. You will be here when this starts. If the Lord doesn't call you home properly, people die every day. That is being called home. But there will not be a great rapture and everybody just take off into the sky until the very end. We are saved from wrath if we run the race and go that far. And we have the perseverance of the saints. Here's a call for the perseverance of the saints. And look, it highlighted that, even though I started right here. Telling you something. If you're destined for captivity, then you will go. And if you're destined to die, then you will die. That is what it's saying. It is not saying that you will be pulled out. It is not. It does not say that. Until the very end, we are saved from wrath. The wrath is the last part. We have this, right? This is the seals. And then we have what comes next? Is it the trumpets? Yeah, the trumpets are next, because they get the trumpets here, and this is where the trumpets are blown, is in Revelation 14. And then 15 is the bowls of wrath. This is the final judgment. 15 and 16 are the bowls of wrath, right? This is where Preparation for judgment happens, and the 6 bowls of wrath, and then the 7th bowl of wrath. Before the 7th bowl of wrath is when we are pulled out. That is God's wrath that we are saved from. That is what we get saved from, not the rest. What's going to happen is a lot of people are going to fall away. A lot of people are going to lose their faith because they are expecting to get pulled out. And when that doesn't happen and they have to choose this mark and they have to choose whether they're going to eat or they're going to die, they're going to choose to eat. That's going to happen. There will be a great falling away. Don't let it be you. Understand what's coming. There is a great persecution coming. It is not a reason to be despair. It's not a reason to despair. It is not a reason to lose hope. We are called for such a time as this. That is what we are here for, to show our faith as we die. When they take me and behead me, because that is going to have to happen, I'm not going into captivity. I'm going to go down singing. I will be singing the praise song that is on this channel. I recorded it. It is a song that God gave me himself. I'm the only one that walks around singing that song. But when I die, I'll be singing that song loud and proud for everyone to hear. Bet. I will try to run. Absolutely. I don't know that I'm going to make it. I'm a cripple. I don't run fast. And I have a hard time hiding. I'm just that dude. Be prepared. We will get back into this. We're getting long. I will definitely be back into the book of Revelation. I might even make it to the book of Job. I keep thinking that that's where I'm going, and God just yanks me somewhere else. This is the second time this week that has happened, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with wherever God wants to lead me. I will say whatever God wants me to say. Study on this. Don't take my word for it. Go back to the book yourself. But this is what it says. I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for everyone. Praying that the full harvest comes. Because if it was up to me, this would happen today and there would not be the full harvest. It is not up to me for that reason, probably. And well, many more. Hey, not to get on. Hey, no. I am but a lowly man. Be prepared. Be diligent. Study. There's a reason why my voice is out here screaming in the darkness. There's a reason why every song is brought to me. There's a reason behind every message that I give out on every song. My goal is to bring you to God himself, the Father himself, through no intermediary, but through the God, the Father. You can talk about hypocrisy all you want because I preach the Bible. I believe in revelation. I don't believe in man's interpretation of revelation, but I do believe that this is coming. We're going to leave it there. This is where we're going to wrap it up for this. I'll be back Wednesday. I don't know where I'm going to be Wednesday. I'm planning on Job. It probably won't be that. If you do not know God, this is how you come to know God. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you as a sinner, and I want to change my ways. Turn my life to you, erase my sin, and turn my soul into yours. Lead me in your ways, show me your truth, and help me to be the man that you want me to be. Amen. Now, if you sincerely mean that, if you sincerely want to turn your life to God, then it's done. That is all he has ever wanted. He will change you. It will happen. If you allow it to happen, it will happen. He will take things from you that you thought you wanted. He will take things from you that you knew you didn't. It will happen. Trust in him, believe in him, and know that you need no intermediary. None. Christ told you that. This has been Pitt's Take. Peace.